bunch, really. That's just
you can go with today's song. What's today's song that made you like just kind of want to be like, damn, this is why I love my fucking hip hop. This is why I love hip hop.
I mean, on some real shit. Wait, what's it pause? I'm sorry.
Oh, that don't matter.
Yeah.
This is an adult channel. This is not for your children. This is over 18.
Yeah, keep it 18 plus.
Yep.
Here, but
we keep it 18 plus on this channel. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
Don't be hitting my inbox, little 11-year-olds. Don't be in my comments like, I'm 9.
And if you under 18 and you're watching this, I want to disclaim that it's not our responsibility where your parents are.
But I mean, if you are under 18, you're gonna learn some stuff about hip hop. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah. But no, I feel like people today listen to hip hop more for they don't care that much about what the rapper is saying. It's more about, can you turn up to it? And with that being said, I'm talking about just like mainstream hip hop, you know.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, like people do. Like, I'm not trying to sympathize with people who might necessarily do that because I don't subscribe to that philosophy or that mentality.
Yeah.
But I can understand it.
I mean, I understand it. I just feel like, is it, you know...
I don't think there's anything wrong with it, per se, because when people think of hip-hop, right, and I can understand why people think of mainstream hip-hop a lot if you're not on the inside of the industry like that. Yeah. Like, we are, but people who are not so much wouldn't know that much about, like, hip-hop artists outside of who's hitting the charts. Or like maybe a few outside of that they follow, but like there's enough hip-hop outside of mainstream hip-hop that still preserves that lyricism to it. And that's why like I tend to like listen to a lot of underground stuff more than, and not like underground as in nobody knows who these cats are, just these cats are not like being marketed to the public like. And then also people forget that, yeah, there's a lot of the mumble rap and trap rap going on right now, but we still have the presence of, like, Kendrick's still around.
Kendrick's still alive. He just, I mean, yeah. But, you know, I like the trap turn up. I like the trap turn up to it.
And I like it too. It's fine for, like... It's
fine sometimes, but you know what? They're also adults.
Yeah.
Right? So hip-hop's influence is so great that it affects children. It affects,
right.
You know,
and I get that. And that's something that was brought up, like, not too long ago, actually, maybe a couple months ago, and it was a bit of an uproar, was Cardi B. You know, a lot of people were criticizing her for like, oh, you're aware that like 15-year-old girls listen to your music, and you're talking about like, no disrespect, but you're talking about some ratchet ass stuff, you know.
It's true. She talks about some she talks about ratchetness.
Like if that's what you're talking about, it's like you gotta think of what those 15-year-old girls' influence is gonna be, and other people were just like, no, but it's the parents' responsibility.
Oh, that's what I agree. It's the parents' responsibility, but at a certain point, you gotta also be like, whoa, son, maybe what am I also promoting? You know
it's also that's what I was gonna say. It's not 100% one or the other. It's like as just being an artist or being anybody who has a voice and has something to say, and you have people that's outside of your immediate friend group listening to what you're saying. You do have to have that consideration that, okay, if I'm an artist and there's people I don't know listening, I don't know what their background is, I don't know none of that. Yeah. I do have to, like, think about what is this really, like, what I want to put out to the world, you know? And it's like, I don't know that much about Cardi B's background. I got put onto her when Bodak Yellow hit charts. Yeah. I mean, but everybody kind of did. But you know what? She was a reality TV star before this. I didn't think I heard about that. So there wasn't really like this lifelong career choice. It was one of those things where she tried reality TV. That didn't get her. It got her enough fans that she, you know, just branched out. But was she rapping before that show? I don't think she was. I think she tells you that she was stripping before that. I mean, well, I do get that she was like stripping. You can be in love with hip hop, but you could like be a rapper and do like other things. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a rapper, but I go to school. I like do a whole bunch of like side
I think
job.
she was a stripper who liked the idea of rapping, and then when she finally got enough money from reality TV, she invested in good producers and good writers, and which I mean, that's kind of what she knew who they were, because, you know, she was on Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
You know, her prior job was New York stripper. And the personality that Cardi B has, and like, she does have a spell. Like, she does have some, like, that something about her makes you like her.
Yeah, because I can understand people who are like, genuinely trying to like get their music out, and then they go on a reality show simply for the publicity. But I feel like, I don't know.
It was an expansion of a brand that she was building. It was just like, I mean,
I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to put an opinion on her because I'm not super familiar with her background or her music like that.
I can understand.
I know a couple songs by her, to be honest,
I'm not judging her for any of it, because I mean, like.
But I definitely think it really comes down to like if what she's rapping about is what she wants to like, if that's what she lives, or if that's what she like believes in, if that's what her like choice of.
But we can't also forget the idea of story raps. There's some raps that like people rap about lives they've never lived. You know, like Slick Rick tells a story. Like we have
and that's the thing. Raps. That's the thing. You know, a lot of people, and this point gets super brought up in like battle rap, especially because it's a lot of criticism. And like, since we're gonna segue to battle rap, it's a lot of changes happen in the battle rap scene too. It's a more niche scene, so that many people don't know about it. But you know, battle rap came off like we started off with freestyle battles all the time.
Yeah.
And now we're in an almost exclusively written time. You know, there's like
like freestyle, like rap started as freestyle battles in like schoolyards,
all that stuff. You know,
just people kind of like expressing themselves in certain ways. I mean,
and now it's an industry. You know, like there's fans of battlers, like battlers are making 50 grand
a
battle and stuff, and some like the top tiers and stuff, you know what I'm saying, like they have all that stuff, so it's like, it's as I say, it's become an industry, and that's not a bad thing at all, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of people have this negative association with the word industry, just because it's like, but it's not a bad thing at all. I think battle rap's on its way up, but yeah, that's coming back to the whole criticism of like what you live with.
I mean, but elements of battle rap are always in like mainstream hip hop, right? Because battle rap was the beginning, and now we're in a time where it's written. I feel like this is kind of like everything being written has made it so that the lyrics aren't good anymore because nobody has anybody that puts them to the test. Like nobody has anybody to like challenge them. It's just like two people sitting alone in a room. I don't know if you've ever seen this meme, but like right now a diss track is two grown men sitting in separate rooms writing poetry about each other. And like,
but also it's like,
and it's one of those things that I think people forgot about the artistry of battle rap, of rap in itself. If everything's written, then how do you challenge?
I have thoughts on that, but I'm gonna get to that in a second. I'm gonna explain this. But that's the thing, I actually watch this YouTube channel called Ruin Your Day, which is basically one of the most famous cameramen in the battle rap scene. He's filmed so many battles, you know, he's just legendary in the scene. It's his channel, and he just has this show on it called the What Series, where him and a couple battle rappers always get together. It's different guests on there every time, and they watch a few battles and stuff. And so I watch that, and it's a lot of like look into the inside of like how people rap and all that stuff, because they, you know, just the top tier tips and tricks, you know what I'm saying. I learned a lot from that, all that. But something that was brought up on that was because there was a time when it was like white battle rappers. Like one of the angles they'd use, like whenever they had like, this is still in the written era, I'm not talking like back in the freestyle era, but like when, it was a time when like the white boy battle rappers would be like using it as an angle against like street battle rappers where like, oh, all you do is come in and talk about the different ways you're gonna shoot me and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
they're using gun bars, and you're like, no, but you don't.
And now you know you have all these hella white boys talking about I'll be whipping crack in the kitchen.
And it's like, no, which kitchen? What crack are you talking about?
And that's the thing. To me, it's like there's a decent amount of white boys who did grow up in the hood. People forget that just because you're white don't mean that you can't come from the hood.
Yeah, like the hood is expansive, and the hood is
it's also like that's what dude called Disaster, who's one of the top tier battle rappers right now. He said on the show where he's like, I like listening to gun bars or like drug bars if it's coming for somebody who I feel like even if they might not have actually like had a whole drug dealing plan going on in their kitchen.
Yeah.
If that's like something that they like, it's a matter of how much you believe in what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be a completely different person from real life. You can have a stage persona and still, if it's like it's a conviction thing, you know.
I mean, it's what actors have to do. It's like how you get Oscars. It's how you get Grammys.
Yeah,
like you have to believe it. Whether that's you or not, you have to sell that.
You gotta realize that it's a lot of the same technique in battle rap because it is a performance all at the end of the day. And you know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta sell that, and you gotta like actually.
Tupac went to performance art school. Like,
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I might have known.
Yeah, Tupac went to performance art school. Like, there's a lot of artists. Like Kanye went to art school. Like,
I knew Kanye had done like a whole bunch of stuff in his life.
Yeah, he started out in art school, but we're not gonna get into Kanye and the nature of hip hop right now. That's a way longer and different episode. We're gonna go back into battle rap, y'all.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, we're gonna go to a different place than battle rap. So, I mean, you as an Indian man in the hip hop scene, how do you feel that you're kind of taken? Because you know you're not white, you're not necessarily black. Yeah. You're this like entity for like what American hip hoppers, you're not hip hoppers, what American hip hop heads see. You're this foreign entity that like hasn't really been like on our radar before. How do they take you and your presence, and how are you taking that? Like your culture stays with you. So how does that work for you?
I think. For me personally, I feel like just because of my entry point into the U.S. hip hop scene, which is shout out to Toki, right? Because that's my man, that's my mentor.
Shout out to Toki Wright and his beautiful wife Brittany Lynch. I know Toki Wright.
Yeah, that's my man, you know, and he was, for those of y'all who don't know, was the head of the department at McNally Smith. While it was open, he was the head of the department. The hip-hop department was his brainchild and stuff. So what that did was it allowed me to come out here and directly get into the hip-hop scene. Because I knew that that's where people in the hip-hop scene will come to. And, you know, that's a good thing about getting into local scenes, is that people actually respect the art a lot more than when it's like a whole bunch of fans who like that particular song, but they don't know nothing about the art in general.
Yeah.
So what it does is because like I was always good at my art and I just kept refining it. So it's like people recognize the potential, and people in the local scene, they know the accent don't matter. The skin color don't matter, and I show you they know because they're fans of the art.
So it just comes down to straight skill at that point.
Yeah, it's just like, are you dope or are you whack? You know, like that's really what it comes down to.
So once you leave like a smaller circle though, we can't pretend that like artists on the internet aren't subject to like racism and like
definitely
just the random like, you know, the things that happen. People are not gonna like what you do, or some people just angry that their day's fucked up, so they're gonna go on and call you names. How do you feel like?
And that's
how do you feel like
you
as your being in the hip hop culture, like how would you infuse that like with like a bigger lens, I guess?
Alright, so for me, it's like,
I guess it's a hypothetical, like.
Yeah, I'm one of them people who's just like, I'm just one of those people who doesn't really really have that many biases in life. I'm like not judgmental of other people in any sense of whatever. I'm like one of them real ass live and let live people. And so it's like, I'm just the type to like avoid negativity in my life of any sort. So it's like, and as I realize this about to sound ironic because we about to be on YouTube with this. But it's like, if I see people hate, I don't care that much about YouTube comments. Only because I don't care about internet talk that much, because on the internet,
it's only internet talk.
Everybody can go and have an opinion on the internet. And now, if you took that internet life and made it real life, you can't give a fuck about what everybody in real life says.
True. So you can't do that anyway.
What makes you think that you have to give a fuck about what everybody on the internet's opinion is, you know?
True.
And it's like,
there's people, but you know what?
Don't get me wrong, though.
There's people who turned off their internet, their Instagram, their social media because they don't have that.
Right, but and that's the thing, you know. It's like, you can't do that. And like, shout out to everyone who's like throwing out positive vibes on the internet, because like a lot of people forget that there's a lot of negativity on the internet. There's a lot of trolling, there's a lot of hating, there's a lot of just.
But also, there's also real people on the end of those people typing. So like,
but there's just a whole bunch of people who, like, I refuse to believe that the majority of the world is evil. I'm like cynical, but I'm not super cynical with it.
I'm halfway between cynical and super cynical. Like, it just hits a point where I'm like, it's just too damn much people.
But I'm just one of those people who, like, I have a faith in humanity. So I definitely believe that there's enough of, like, positive content on the internet. Because for every one person that might be, like, hating on you, I'm sure there's, like, 10 comments who are like about what you do, and they're fucking with it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. So I don't know, man. Like I don't really care about that much.
Yeah.
You know, like if somebody throws out something positive on my YouTube videos, I try to reply to them. And like leave at least a thanks, if not something else.
Yeah, I try to do that. Sometimes it just gets too much.
Like I want them, like if it's like if you have like 100 or 150 comments, you're not about to go and reply to every one of them individually. But like for a video where you might have like 10, 15 comments because it's like a newer video or whatever, as much as it's possible with, you know, the grand scheme of things. Because you know, we as artists, we all live busy lives. You know, we don't have like a 9 to 5 and then come back home and then go back to say we do like we work 24/7 around the clock.
Yeah, you have to be working. Like, if you can't work on your art, then you have to think about working on your art.
You know, you gotta like
organize.
We work 24/7. We do a whole bunch of different stuff. It's like I'm a rapper, but I'm not just exclusively a rapper. Like when people think about my art, I don't just rap. Like, I rap, I produce, I do mixing, I do studio engineering, I do video editing, I do graphic design to an extent. I do a whole bunch I do like live show promotions and stuff too.
So there's just a bunch of, there's art.
I do a whole
it's all
bunch
around
of stuff.
artists.
Yeah, and I might not necessarily want to do all that stuff.
Yeah, but
I
you
might
have
to
to
do like
in order to
only
get your stuff out.
Yeah, you gotta like do all of that stuff. So you gotta like balance all this. So we work 24/7. So it's not physically possible for us to go and reply to every single comment that people leave on our social media, obviously. Yeah. But I like to do it as much as possible to let them know that I appreciate the fans who are like vibing with me and like supporting me. And those who's hating, they're hating. You know what I'm saying? I don't like care about that comment. I just scroll right past. You know, I'm not like, I don't even hit a dislike. I don't try to get the comment removed. None of that. Unless it's like on some race shit or some, which, like, I ain't gonna lie, like I faced racism multiple times.
Well, yeah, of course.
But
it's
luckily,
like, I know where you're from, but like people walk down the street and if they see brown skin, they're automatically like, oh my god, either you're a terrorist or if they don't know what you are exactly, or you're G13. You know what I mean? Like, as a brown person in America, you kind of have to almost always be on watch because there's always going to be some excuse.
So, like
you could just be mixed, like...
I've definitely I've been on the receiving end of racism hella times, but, like, I've been fortunate enough that for me the music industry is still like a safe zone from that. For
it's still
me
very
personally,
inclusive.
It's very inclusive, and so on the front, like I haven't received no racism through my music outlets or my like whatever other media outlets that I use. I haven't received no racism through those channels, so I'm happy about that. I'd love to keep it that way. But real life, yeah, outside of all that stuff, and I get that I say real life, but like I mean just outside of what y'all see on the media side of things, like that's just equally real. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, is it equally real though? Like, you know, like we made this video, but real life is we were just talking, right?
Yeah, and that's
and video life is we set up a camera and all this other stuff to make it look prettier. But I mean, I guess we're still having a real conversation.
Yeah, but we're still talking. It's just now we have like a couple lights on and somebody's watching us, like, you know, talking. But it's like.
I guess for other people I guess for other people though this is it's in between that. But okay, so for me, I want to ask, so you're in this position where you can enjoy hip hop in different forms, right? You can enjoy, what's Indian hip hop like versus American hip hop? Like, is there a hip hop, like I know there's a hip hop scene because I listen to a lot of Indian hip hop, but like what is it for you versus like, because you can see both clearly from being in and around both.
I feel like, in all honesty, hip-hop in India right now is in its grassroots stages, the scene, because India's whole media scene, whatever, is the film industry in whatever language, because India has so many different languages, but like, it's all film. If you're anybody in like any sort of famous position, being an artist,